Child, let me tell y'all, because I experienced something that had me shooketh, okay? So y'all know I be watching that show Baddies, right? So there's a woman on the show Baddies by the name of Emma. So she confronted another woman on the show, Scotty. Now, the storyline around Emma confronting Scotty was whack. A lot of people were saying, yeah, they think that the producers told Emma to target Scotty because they want beef between the new girls and the girls who've been on the show, right? But that's besides the point, okay? What we're going to focus on is the fact that both Emma and Scotty are lighter-skinned women. Now, I will say Emma looks like a light-skinned black person, while Scotty, I don't know, Scotty looks ambiguous to me. Now, y'all comment, let me know, whatever, right? But that's not even the main point of this. The only thing that I want you all to, be aware of is the fact that neither of them is dark-skinned, right? So, y'all, I'm saying this for a reason, because I think that the fragments of colorism are beginning to disintegrate. And let me tell y'all why. So again, Emma confronted Scotty, and the reason she claimed to confront her was whack. It was like, what? Right? But, y'all, when I tell y'all, people started dragging Emma's looks. Like, people were like, she looked like Laura Farquaad. Like, she looked like the dude off the B movie, etc., etc., etc. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, didn't nobody lie. Like, straight up, Emma looks like Squidward's house or something. It's the shape of her face. The shape of her face is very off. Like, if I didn't know, I'd be like, I think that's a man or something. Like, the shape of her face is definitely like, right? Now, I won't say that Emma is ugly or unattractive. I don't think I would look at her and be like, oh, like, that's an ugly bitch. You know what I'm saying? But she's not pretty. And again, it has a lot to do with the shape of her face. I think if she had a normally shaped face, she might be an attractive girl, right? But that being said, straight up, I will say Emma is not attractive in my opinion, okay? But the way people were dragging her, I was like, wow. Because normally when somebody is not attractive, but they are light-skinned, people will sit there and be like, oh, well, both girls are pretty, so I don't know what the beef is about. You know, like, I don't get it, so and so and so, right? And the fact that people dragged her and acknowledged the fact that she's not pretty, I was like, oh yeah, colorism is shaking in its boots, baby. It's quivering, it's quaking, because the people are waking up. Now, we all know that everyone is going to rush to this video and be like, Flower Tower is just jealous of the light skins and the biracials and the so-and-so, because that's colorism's scapegoat, right? The belief that darker skinned women have to feel inferior to lighter skin and mixed women, and the only critiques we can have of them or colorism or this system has to be rooted in jealousy or whatever, right? We all know that it's coming, but this is the reality. You bitches could never be Flower Tower. We all know that. And we all know that somebody like me shakes the table, because you all are raised to believe that somebody like me is lower than you and is jealous of you and so and so and so. So when you see a bitch as bad as myself, right? Clearly, I combat that, that ideology, that upbringing. And you have to recognize the fact that clearly all of this colorism and featureism and stuff is not rooted in reality, right? Because I go against everything you were taught is beautiful, and I look better than you bitches, okay? So clearly, we already know it's finna be a bunch of folks in the comments, Flower Tower is just jealous because Emma is light skinned. Okay, next. Anyway, right? So it's crazy to me, because I remember in high school, there was this girl, and we just gonna call her Brianna for the purposes of this video, right? Brianna was not pretty. She was not pretty at all. But she was light-skinned, and she had, like, hazel eyes, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, Brianna was ugly as fuck, actually. Not even just not pretty. The bitch was ugly as fuck. But nobody ever dragged her for being ugly as fuck. Now, I can't remember if people was like, oh, yeah, she's pretty. But, like, it's the fact that if she looked that bad and she was dark-skinned and unambiguously black, everybody would have been like, damn, bitch, you ugly as fuck, right? But because she was lighter-skinned and, kind of ambiguous looking, nobody was ever on her head. And I remember I was just confused, because I was like, this is an ugly bitch. Like, it's crazy because back then I had to be about 16 years old. I was like, am I the only person who sees that this bitch is ugly? But everybody else was like blind. You know what I'm saying? So now, fast forward to 2024, right? What, it's been 12 years. And now I'm sitting back and looking because now suddenly everybody is seeing what I've been fucking seeing. Now, in no way am I saying that every light skinned woman is ugly and every dark skinned woman is pretty because that's just not the reality. I know many beautiful light skinned women and many ugly dark skinned women, right? Like, come on now, let's be for real. There are attractive people of every skin tone, of every race, of every background. There are ugly people of every skin tone, of every race, of every background, right? So I don't want you all to come to this. But we know y'all about to. We know y'all about to. Y'all about to come here, rush. Flower Tower's just jealous because those light skins are so and so and so. And then when you ask them, what am I jealous of? They can never answer the question because the answer is you're jealous of my proximity to whiteness. And they don't want to straight up say that because then that acknowledges colorism and featureism. And basically it acknowledges they ugly as fuck, but because they're more aligned with whiteness, people pretend that they aren't, right? So they can never really elaborate on what anybody is jealous of. But whatever, right? So again, in no way am I saying that every light-skinned woman is ugly. That's just not true. In no way am I saying that every dark-skinned woman is pretty. That's just not true, right? But for a long time, y'all would sit there and pretend any old ugly bitch was cute just because she was light-skinned. And even the most beautiful of dark-skinned women was ugly just because she was dark-skinned. So it's kind of like off-putting to see that people are finally waking up to this and they're acknowledging this because look, 10 or 12 years ago, somebody looking as strong-faced as Emma would have been regarded as beautiful and pretty, even though the bitch not. Like, again, I'm sorry, it just is what it is, right? So it's interesting to see that people are finally waking up to this and being like, this bitch look a little funny looking. Like, I'm seriously very shocked to see Emma receiving some honest critique because I can't say nobody lied. She do look like Lord Farquaad. She do look like the dude from the B movie. She is tore up. But it's like kind of disorienting because for so long, y'all niggas would have swore that Emma was the baddest bitch alive just because she light skinned. Like, it's disorienting, but I'm glad that black people are finally beginning to wake up, for real.